Now, like I was discussing in the earlier video today, talking about Terra Luna Classic is becoming more complicated. We've got proposals now that are proposing more than just to burn or not to burn Terra Luna Classic, and a lot of this has to do with what amount of taxes should be allocated to community pools, what amount of taxes should be paid to developers, should developers be paid, does Terra Luna Classic deserve the burn, should we focus on burn, should we focus on utility? As you can see, there's a lot of questions floating around, and one of the best things that we can do in a situation like this is to gather others' perspectives. Okay, now I've got my own opinions, clearly, but my own opinions come from my background, my understanding of things, and it's always good, whether or not you agree with them or not, to get someone else's perspective, because it helps you either one, be more convicted in your own, or opens up your eyes to something that you didn't see before. So in this video, I'm going to break down Ed Kim's perspective on whether or not we should be lowering the 1.2% burn tax down to 0.2% and get a little bit more of a developer's, I guess, eye for things in this situation. So if it sounds like something you're interested in, let's get started. What's up, everybody? I'm Clay. I'm here to make 2022 the best year ever. If you haven't clicked that subscribe button, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Join us, become a bro. We are here every single day, and we are growing our portfolios together. And look, if you're brand new to investing, you don't know how or where to buy stocks and crypto, you get a link in the description below for Webull. It is super simple to set up your account. Any deposit, you guys are getting at least 6 free stocks, up to 12 free stocks. Now, $1 crypto trade gets you $5 in free crypto, and then if you want a crypto exclusive exchange, get KuCoin down in the description where they offer rewards for the more active trader. So if you guys trade a lot, you can earn a lot of rewards on the KuCoin platform, and then you can buy and sell Terra Luna Classic there as well if you want. Binance, also for international users, they are supporting burns, so we should support them. If you guys are international users and want to use that link, absolutely. But I want to jump into this, right? Because I'll be the first to admit, I'm not a developer. The most programming I've ever done is, I don't even know what it was, Android app, Hello World, just to get to show up, messing around. So these guys are obviously a lot smarter when it comes to programming, coding, and things like that, and that, like, mentality, that track. And I'm going to tell you right now, those guys are on a different mental track than I am, right? They see things in sometimes zeros and ones, and it's good to get a perspective like this, just so that you've got an idea of what people are looking at, and then you can make up your own mind, right? Same deal with me. Don't take anything I say just as written in stone. Listen to it. If it sounds good, hey, maybe support it. If it doesn't, at least you can look at that perspective and say, well, this is why I don't, or this is why I do believe in that, especially when it comes to Terra Luna Classic, guys, and things getting more complicated as the days go on. So I'm not going to read this whole thing here, but he's basically laying out the scenario, saying that Terra Luna Classic is gaining traction on some of these proposals to lower the tax from 1.2 to 0.2, and in that 0.2, you've got what's called a seigniorage. Okay, this is basically saying that 10% of the tax goes to the crown, or 10% of tax in this situation goes to, I don't know, the community or the developers in the form of bringing utility and making sure that we reward utility on the chain, meaning development, yes, but also these new apps and things that could come back as the blockchain for Terra Luna Classic is being rebuilt. So what we've got here is he's basically just explaining this, and this is the main distinction that you want to know when it comes to this seigniorage, or this tenth of a tax being applied to the 0.2%. So if we lower the tax from 1.2% on Terra Luna Classic transactions to 0.2%, the seigniorage is interesting. And he goes, I'm not going to go into all of the stuff about, you know, being minted at the end of an epoch and stuff like that and whatever, but we'll break it down here because this is important. So at the end of the epoch, all of the burned tokens are immediately reminted and then immediately burned again. This means that the reward weight might be like 0.9% or 90% burned, and it would seemingly function as a 100% burn during the week, and then that remaining 10% is going to be reminted at the end of the week. Now, here's where it's important. So another thing to realize, and this I had no idea until I started to open my eyes and see what these developers are saying about it, because I'm not that development background. So another thing, and this is very important for you guys too, another thing to realize is that if you're voting to burn 90% of the total burns during the epoch, these burns are not just the ones that are a result of the on-chain tax, but it includes any of the manual burns sent to the burn wallet. Now, as a result, if this passes, you should not be alarmed to see a green mint candle on the LUNC chart, and this simply means the mechanism by seigniorage is working. Now, here's what you need to take away from that, okay? It's not just the burn tax that is going to be rewarding this channel anymore. And we know the burn tax has resulted in roughly, what is it, 6-7 billion Terra Luna Classic burns so far? Binance, you guys, people out there and in different exchanges sending to the burn wallet now, that will be taxed as well, going to the developers, going to the community pool, and being set in this seigniorage account, right? So all of a sudden, now when Binance sends over not $1 billion, a billion Terra Luna Classic, or $1 million worth, okay? If they send over $1 million worth, what's 10% of that, guys? What's 10%? 10% of that movement goes into that community fund or goes into that development fund. And we're talking some big numbers. Binance has already done a $1.9 million transaction. So if all of a sudden we're taking, $100,000 or $200,000 out of Binance burns and applying them to something else, there's a lot to work out there. How does this affect what Binance is willing to do? How does this affect Binance's decision to either simply burn or provide liquidity to the Terra Luna Classic blockchain? It gets very intricate. Now, I'm not going to go through this whole thing here. I think I'll save it for another video, but he does provide some very good detail about a developer's train of thought and mathematical efficiencies and stuff like that. But the main takeaway that I want you guys to get from this right here, and that I got out of reading that article, is that 10% of now all burns, not just the tax burns, would be sent to this developers or this community wallet to bring back utility. So I'm going to leave it at that. I want to know what you guys think. Good idea? Simply down in the comments below. Good idea or bad idea? Let me know your thoughts about Terra Luna Classic, and of course, if that button right there is still red, make sure to click it, subscribe to the channel, join us, become a bro. We are here every single day, and we are growing our portfolios together. ClayBro 883 everywhere. 6 to 12 free stocks on Webull, KuCoin, and Binance, and until the next time, hope that each and every one of you have an awesome day.